What if you woke up tomorrow and Earth's pull felt triple strength? Could you even grab your coffee mug, let alone throw a roundhouse kick? For the heroes of Dragon Ball Z, that's a regular Monday. They train under moon-crushing gravity, wear ankle weights heavier than mini-fridges, and step into a chamber where a full year blazes by in 24 hours. Epic or fatal for an ordinary human who tries the same. In the next few minutes, we'll slam those cartoon workouts against real fighter pilot data, NASA centrifuge trials, and cutting-edge sports science. You'll see why Vegeta's 300G flex would liquefy your organs, how Goku's 88-pound cuffs could finance your surgeon's beach house, and whether a hyperbolic time chamber could exist outside fan fiction. Ready to find out if you could survive even their warm-up set, smash like, power up, and let's test Saiyan training against real-world biology. Dragon Ball Z treats overtraining like a light jog. Kid Goku sprinted the 625,000-mile snakeway, sparred mid-air with Master Roshi, and hauled milk up cliff faces before recess. Prince Vegeta locks himself inside gravity pods dialed past triple-digit Gs, basically deadlifting a dump truck each time he stands. Piccolo's mentorship plan? Drop 6-year-old Gohan in monster-infested deserts and call it lunch if he returns alive. Meanwhile, Trunks and Goten, elementary schoolers, fuse into Gotenks and toss city-busting Kai blasts without a gym card, driver's license, or parental supervision. Real athletes chase edges that echo these cartoons. MMA pros strap on altitude masks to mimic 14,000-foot peaks. Ultra runners hide 5-pound ankle plates to spike heart rate. NASA's Human Performance Lab builds supersuits that simulate lunar gravity so astronauts don't wobble home. Stage combat crews rehearse with weighted swords so the real props feel feather-light. And viral Saiyan push-up gauntlets rack up millions of views because fans crave that anime grind, minus the hospital bill. So, if medical coverage were unlimited, which DBZ workout would you try first? Drop your pick below while we meet the king of gravity junkies. Buckle up, Vegeta's numbers get nasty fast. Ever wondered what would happen if you stepped into Vegeta's gravity chamber? You're probably picturing yourself getting super strong, muscles bulging like a Saiyan warrior. But the reality? Your body would be experiencing some seriously intense physics that would make your workout, well, let's just say challenging. Let's break down what happens when gravity cranks up on your body. Even at just 2 Gs, twice Earth's normal gravity, astronauts experience major physiological changes. Your blood starts pooling in your legs and feet because your heart suddenly has to work twice as hard to pump it back up. Imagine feeling like you might pass out just from standing up. Your cardiovascular system goes into overdrive, increasing your heart rate and blood pressure as it desperately tries to compensate for what feels like doubling your body weight overnight. Now bump that up to 5 Gs and things get wild. If you weigh 150 pounds normally, you'd suddenly feel like you're carrying 750 pounds everywhere you go. Try to lift your arm? That's basically like trying to bench press your entire body weight. Even the simplest movements would cause extreme muscle fatigue almost immediately. Forget doing push-ups. Just lifting your hand to scratch your nose would feel like an Olympic feat of strength. But here's something interesting. There might actually be some benefits to training in slightly increased gravity. Professor Yutika Hirata's research suggests that at around 1.5 to 2 Gs, your brain actually optimizes neural networks for movement. It's not the gravity itself that makes you stronger, but how your brain adapts to create more efficient movement patterns. Think of it as a neural workout alongside your physical one. Push beyond to 10 Gs though, and we're entering the danger zone where Goku supposedly started his training. At this level, your internal organs start to fail dramatically. Your heart simply cannot generate enough force to pump blood against this crushing pressure. Your lungs would begin to collapse under their own newly multiplied weight. Even the tiny blood vessels in your eyes would start to rupture from the immense pressure. You'd likely lose consciousness within seconds as your brain gets starved of oxygen. By the time you hit 20 Gs, your body is facing catastrophic failure. Your ribcage would start to crack under the immense pressure. Your spine would compress dangerously, potentially causing permanent damage. Blood would be completely unable to reach your brain, leading to immediate unconsciousness. There's no pushing through this kind of pain. your body simply shuts down as a survival mechanism. Not exactly the kind of training montage you were hoping for, right? And Vegeta's casual training at 300 Gs? This is where physics gets truly brutal. At this extreme level, your body wouldn't just fail. It would be instantaneously... Sorry to crush your Saiyan dreams. Pun absolutely intended. But the human body just wasn't designed for these kinds of forces. While gravity chambers might mash you into an organic pancake, what about those flashy weighted accessories Goku and Master Roshi casually wear? You know the iconic moments where they peel off their training gear and suddenly leap as if Earth's gravity switched off? Before you order a set of Saiyan-style workout clothes, let's talk about what 88-pound wristbands would really do to a human body. First, the math. Early in Dragon Ball, Goku's wristbands and boots each weighed 88 pounds, for a combined 176 pounds strapped to his wrists and another 176 to his ankles. That's like punching and kicking with a whole adult latched onto every limb. Unlike a gravity chamber, where force spreads evenly, weighted clothes dump all that stress on specific joints. Orthopedic research is grim. Adding just a single pound to your extremities measurably raises joint stress. Now picture 88 pounds dangling from each wrist. Your joints wouldn't just complain, they'd buckle. Even Olympic lifters, the strongest people on Earth, would struggle with this weight distribution. The sheer forces on ligaments and tendons would be catastrophic. A simple jab could snap tissue and land you in the ER before you finish your first kata. There's also the materials problem. What substance could cram 88 pounds into a flexible bracelet without turning it into a hulking shackle? Nothing in the periodic table fits the bill unless you're mining alien alloys. Need a reality check? Modern soldiers carry body armor weighing only 30 to 40 pounds across the torso, and they still develop chronic back and knee injuries over time, despite that weight being far better distributed than wrist or ankle loads. But athletes use ankle and wrist weights, you say. True, light resistance, about 1 to 4.5 pounds, does improve muscle activation and coordination. The principle is solid. The scale is what makes Dragon Ball-style training physiologically impossible. Think of your body as an engineered structure with hard limits. Joints, ligaments, and bones tolerate only so much stress before failing. In real life, Goku's limbs would be wrecked long before those weights gave him any Super Saiyan boost. Saiyans dodge those earthly limits with a genius shortcut: the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. Train for a year while just one day passes outside? Sounds like anime fantasy, yet it brushes up against Einstein's time dilation math. In Dragon Ball Z, the chamber is an alternate dimension where residents experience 1 year for every external day. Surprisingly, the core idea isn't pure nonsense. Einstein's general relativity says time flows at different rates under different gravitational conditions. Near an extremely massive object, time really does slow compared with regions of weaker gravity. We've proved it. Atomic clocks on GPS satellites tick about 38 microseconds per day, faster than identical clocks on Earth. But to stretch time at a 365-to-1 ratio, you'd need gravity comparable to skimming the event horizon of a black hole weighing 1 billion Earths, basically surfing reality's edge. The chamber's brutal environment, thin air, higher gravity, wild temperatures, might create super-adapted athletes if they survived. Yet NASA researchers warn that the sensory deprivation of a featureless, endless white void would induce hallucinations and mental collapse within weeks. Physicist Nobuyoshi Ota even flips the concept. Instead of speeding yourself up, trap the villain in ultra-low gravity so their time crawls. You train a full year, they experience a single day. Talk about a tactical edge. So we've seen that trying to train exactly like Goku would turn you into either a pancake or a hospital patient. But here's the thing, there's a reason Dragon Ball Z has inspired real athletes across the world. Professional fighters, Olympic weightlifters, and everyday gym enthusiasts have cited Goku and Vegeta's training mentality as motivation for their own fitness journeys. What makes Dragon Ball Z truly brilliant isn't the physics-defying training methods, but the core principles those methods represent. progressive overload, mental fortitude, and constantly pushing beyond what you thought possible. Next time you're working out, channel your inner Saiyan by gradually increasing resistance in ways that won't liquefy your internal organs. Start with weights you can handle, then add a little more each week. Focus on your breathing like you're charging up a spirit bomb. Remember, the most powerful message from Dragon Ball Z isn't about achieving superhuman strength overnight, but about the incredible potential for growth that exists within all of us. Now get out there and train. Just maybe skip the 300 G's gravity chamber for now.